Can we be moral without God, Mr. Hermit? Yes, all people can be moral, whether atheists or theists. So then why would we need God? Well, little Jim, if God does not exist, then objective moral values, moral duties, and moral accountability all go out the window. Morality becomes subjective, making it more akin to an opinion. Without God, our actions cannot be considered good or evil, for our objective moral values do not exist. We cannot truly be moral without God in an objective sense. What if objective moral values and duties exist? Then this would result in proof of God's existence, for objective moral values and duties are tied to God's existence. Can you explain this further? Remember to hit that like button, to subscribe or follow me, and to share this video with others. Objective moral values declare something as right or wrong, independent of what anyone believes to be right or wrong. Objective moral values are rooted in God's perfect nature, from which flows the absolute moral standard that every action or decision is compared to. What about moral duties, Mr. Hermit? Moral duties are divine commands that are an expression of God's moral nature to us, little Jim. Also, what is moral accountability? Moral accountability means that God will hold everyone responsible for their moral choices, with evil being punished and righteousness being shown as morally right. What do these terms mean for us overall? Objective morality means that our moral choices have eternal significance. Our actions matter, especially with moral accountability. Living a self-sacrificing life or giving up your life for others has value. If God exists, we have objective morality, and without God's existence, our moral choices are empty, pointless gestures. If God does not exist, then what do we base our moral values on? There is nothing left to base our moral values on. Moral values are subjective and up to the individual or society to decide. Even then, moral values are no more than a passing whim. The same can be said of moral duties. Moral accountability is impossible without God to hold anyone accountable. Is there anything an atheist can base their morals on, Mr. Hermit? Some atheists will put forward that among humans, a herd morality has evolved to help our species survive and reproduce. However, there is not anything special about humans that makes this herd morality objective. If human beings are accidental byproducts of evolution and are all bound to soon perish, then why be moral? Murder isn't socially advantageous, and so during human evolution has become taboo. But without any objective moral values, it isn't morally wrong to murder someone for personal gain. Remember, moral values are nothing more than a passing whim. What if objective moral values exist independent of evolution, human whims, or God? This would still be problematic. Even if objective moral values exist on their own independently, they would be pointless without moral accountability. If this life ends at death, then it doesn't matter if you lived as Hitler or Mother Teresa. You may as well live a life of self-indulgence. A mother saving her child from a burning building would be absurd. Why risk your life? You could just have another child. So what does all this mean for objective moral values? If there is no God, then moral values are nothing more than the whims of the individual or society. Moral values become subjective, little Jim. A world without objective moral values seems unbearable. It is unbearable. We all naturally feel inside that something isn't right without objective moral values. Our very being screams to us that objective moral values exist. Where does this natural moral intuition come from? Evolution gives us no real reason to be moral. Why care about the survival of the human race? Even if objective moral values exist independently on their own, without God, there is no moral accountability. So why not be self-indulgent? Can this natural moral intuition be based on the individual or society? No, that just makes moral values nothing more than the whims of humans. None of these things can account for this natural moral intuition or thirst for objective moral values. So where does this natural moral intuition come from? The only logical choice would be God, especially the God of the Bible. If he exists, then objective moral values make sense. We would also have more moral duties and moral accountability. So, what does this mean for objective moral values and moral duties? That they exist and are rooted in God's existence. This can be summed up as follows. 1. If God did not exist, objective moral values and duties would not exist. 2. Objective moral values and duties do exist. 3. Therefore, God exists. So, can we be moral without God? No. Without God, we cannot be moral in any real sense. However, if we can be moral at all, then it would point to the existence of God. Little Jim's mishaps. Ooh, an orange slice. Time to eat. Ah, a crystal. Why?